Hi, everyone. So, if you're intrigued by what happened after Jesus' resurrection, how a handful of ordinary people grew into a courageous community that carried his message across the world, then I highly recommend you read the book of Acts. Acts was written by Luke, same author who wrote the Gospel of Luke. He was a careful historian and compassionate storyteller. He addressed this book to Theophilus, but it's clear he's writing for a broader audience. Early Christians trying to understand their identity and mission in a complicated world. The who inside the story is just as compelling. You'll meet Peter, who goes from fearful to fearless, Paul, whose life is radically transformed, and everyday men and women empowered by the Holy Spirit. This is not just a story about leaders, it's about a community learning to live out bold faith together. Acts was likely written around AD 60 to 70, during a time when the early church was expanding, but also facing pressure and persecution. Israel was under Roman rule, and tensions were high both politically and religiously. The story begins in Jerusalem, but quickly spreads outward to Judea, Samaria, and ultimately Rome, the center of the known world at the time. You'll see the message of Jesus crossing cultural, geographic, and social boundaries in a way that was completely unexpected. At its core, Acts is about the unstoppable movement of the gospel through the power of the Holy Spirit. One key verse, Acts 1:8, says, being witnesses in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. As we read, we'll see some interesting themes. The Holy Spirit empowering ordinary people, boldness in the face of fear, the growth of the church, unity and generosity among believers, and God opening doors that no one expected. This book is full of action, miracles, prison breaks, sermons, shipwrecks, but underneath it all is a steady message. God is actively building and guiding the church. Luke wrote Acts to show that what started with Jesus didn't end with him. It continued and is still continuing. It reassures believers that God's plan is unfolding even when circumstances seem uncertain. Acts invites us to see that this isn't just their story, it's our story. The same spirit, the same mission, the same call to live with courage and purpose still applies today. If you've ever felt unsure about sharing your faith, wondered how God uses ordinary people, or longed to be part of something bigger, Acts will meet you there. So as we begin reading together, don't just read it as history, read it as an invitation to step into a life that's led, empowered, and transformed by God. Let's see what he might do in us.